Hello everyone, and welcome to the Postal Pleasures channel. Today I'm going to show you how I use my sweat box, not just to separate stamps, which I've shown you before, but also to correct the humidity in some stamps. Often stamps that are too dry, or maybe you've been subjected to moisture through soaking or a sweat box and then allowed to dry quickly, will curl. And so this is a good example of a curled stamp. This one happens to be from Poland. It is not stuck to itself. It still has gum. So we'll set it in here and see if we can get it to uncurl. Here's one that has curled and also then been flattened. We'll see what happens there. And then these are notorious. This is a German stamp with a curl, not too bad. I've seen worse. I've seen them roll right into little tubes. Another German stamp, another German stamp, and then this one is more of one with a fold, but I'm curious to see how it'll affect the fold. It's almost a hard fold. That fold, you'll probably always see a crease there, but let's see if it helps it settle out more than just bending it back. Sometimes if you try to flatten a dry stamp, they'll crack and just split wide open, and you'll ruin them. This should alleviate that. The other thing I do, and you'll see at the end of the process, is that I have to take them out, and then the gum's moist, right? I can't. You need to, once they flatten, you need to take them out and dry them enough so the gum is dry, and then put them in something that'll keep them flat. I usually put them in one of these 2x2 holders, and then put this under a weight, but of course you don't want it sticking in there, so you've got to make sure the gum's just dry enough, but hasn't started to curl again. I should also mention that normally I use a plastic lid on this takeaway container, but as you can see, actually that's not horrible. I'm going to try a piece of plastic wrap. If it looks worse than this, we'll come back to this. If I had a piece of glass, that would probably be ideal. I think this is going to be clear enough. Now hopefully with that lid not being domed, it won't interfere with the stamp uncurling. We'll monitor that and see what we get when we come back to it. So let's see. You know what? I don't think that really is it's a little clearer where it's not wrinkled, but maybe I can get it a little cleaner. There we go, that's a little better. Okay. And a little bit of glare on there, so I'll move it to the side for my lights. I've somewhat overcrowded this box, and in addition, the plastic wrap is keeping the large center stamp from unrolling nicely. This won't be much of a negative effect on the process, but it makes for a less than perfect video. Okay, I've let this sit far too long. I expected it to go for 20 minutes or so, and then I got busy and couldn't come back. For now, it's probably been 3 hours. So these are going to be way over wet, unfortunately, and I actually expected to. This probably would have gone flat had it not been held. Oh, that's not good. Had it not been held up by unfolding by the cover that I put on. This one didn't uncurl as much as I would like, but this will flatten out just fine. As long as we do it well, it's still somewhat humid. These two flattened out nicely. The one with the fold didn't change much. This one here with the two folds actually opened up more than I expected, and that'll flatten out no trouble. So I'm going to get them off the moisture. And I never mentioned this, that sponge is just lightly dampened. I mean, maybe I probably gave it a good rinsing and then squeezed it out. So it's moist but not dripping. Pull that one out. I'll get these back in frame in a second. I just want to and we'll probably be a little out of focus because I'm changing my depth here, but bear with me. I'll get these out of the way. Trying not to stick them to each other. Lastly, that one, I will set that aside. And I'm really at this point just waiting for them to mostly dry out. This is a gummed stamp, I wasn't sure. It's really just picking your time wisely to put them away. Had I not left them in for 3 hours, they would dry much quicker. I've done this in as little as 10-15 minutes before, and I'm not really paying attention to it in that time. Just wait till I see it, release its tension, go fairly flat, and then pull it out, dry it enough so it won't stick to the card, and then put it in the card and under some weight. So now I've walked away for a couple minutes and actually waited too long. They've started to curl again, but I'm going to go ahead and put them in the card anyway. I was probably gone 10 minutes and missed that key point, but they'll be fine. They're not going to crack. They're still humid enough that they'll bend back out, dry enough that they won't stick. And if I do feel like I am stressing them, I mean, look at how fast they're curling back. Maybe I'm going to set them over here while I work. Right into a corner. It really presses it tight. I've actually had, though, ones of these that I've put in like this and not put under weight that have actually broken the seam on the card from trying to recurl. I'm actually going to let this go humid again for a couple more minutes. Just probably take a couple minutes. I'm going to just put this cover back on because it's easier. So the note here is that you can repeat this process. I'm going to say indefinitely. Okay, it's probably been about 1 minute that they've been back in the box. I'll take the lid off because I think that that should have softened them a little. I know I'm working out of frame here. I'm just feeling the flexibility, and the gum is still dry, which is good. I could have let them sit a little longer, but this will dry out. I mean, this will flatten out without cracking. So in this case, and I might not be in perfect focus here because I'm working above everything, but there we go, that's in there. Let's try the other next flattest one, if we will. 300,000 over 200. Again, that's in there and flat. Let's try this 30. I know I'm out of frame, sorry. That's in there and flat. And this last one still has a decent amount of curl. 5. Or 15, I should say. Or no, 75. Yeah, I want to let this one go further. When I tried to get it flat, I could see there was a pretty harsh bend right here still. Had I cut this earlier when the first pass, that wouldn't have been there, but it'll go away. So we'll just cap this for another few minutes. So now, there. Even though there might be a little pucker left, that'll disappear over the next couple days when I put them under a board to press. I find it doesn't take a ton of weight. I don't need to put them in a clamp or anything, but I put them under a couple pounds. So let's see if this one, now that it's had maybe 2 more minutes, I'm probably rushing it just because I want to be done with this, but let's see if it's soft enough where I can flatten it out without damaging anything. Yeah, dry enough that I can also work with it. Yeah, that's dry enough and soft enough now. So I think we're in the sweet spot. It flattens nicely now. It doesn't kink up on the corner, yet it's not tacky. Put it in there, perfectly flat. That actually might be the best one yet because I dealt with it at the perfect spot. So here we are, a nice flat stamp. Not quite as flat, but not bad. Again, that'll press out. That one there. This one from Togo. This German one here. And lastly, this German one here. So, thanks for watching. I hope this was informative and can help you with some of your trouble curled stamps. Thanks again.